everyone.
Great.
Is this mic loud enough? Can you hear me well in the back? Good. So, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for attending. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Jonathan Jaglom. I have the honor and the privilege to be the new CEO of Makerbot. Thank you. I will be taking you through in the next few minutes on my slides, which I'm entitling "Empowering the Creators," which is, I think, what we are about at Makerbot. First of all, forgive me for having this stage. I personally like to be more in front of my audience, so I'm sort of hiding behind this because I like to show my excitement as I talk. And definitely this is a topic of big excitement. This is my 8th day as the CEO of Makerbot. So definitely Makerbot is very new to me, but the industry as a whole is absolutely not. I've been around in this industry for 10 years now. Joined in 2005. I've seen it grow from a very small industry to a sizable one that it is today. And I was part of the, I don't know if you guys know the history, part of the Object Boys that then transitioned to the Stratasys Boys, and now I'm part of the Makerbot clan, which is great. The value that I bring to the Makerbot equation, I think, falls into 3 pillars. First of all, I have a very broad range of understanding and experience in the professional printers, in the higher end professional platforms. 3D printing, and what we see at Makerbot is a transition from the higher end into the desktop 3D printing space. So that's definitely something I can tap into and something I can provide assistance to, and I'm excited about that one. The other one is that I've been with Object and Stratasys for over 10 years, and I've had very varying roles. I was in sales and marketing. I was in customer support. I was in applications, vice president of sales operations. I was leading the team in sales integration with Stratasys. And in the last 2 years, I have been the general manager of Asia Pacific and Japan, accounting for roughly 20% of the Stratasys business overall globally last year. Proud to say the fastest growing subsidiary of all of the Stratasys portfolio. So I have a very good broad understanding of the different facets of the business, and that's very exciting to bring along with me into Makebot. The last element, which I alluded to before, is a wide range of understanding in the international space spectrum. Whether it's in Europe, where I was in sales, or whether it's in Asia as general manager, so I can definitely tap into that as well. So that's a bit about me. A bit about Makerbot, since I'm assuming some of you know a lot about this cool company, and some of you know less about it. So I'll just one slide about Makerbot. Makerbot is the leader in the desktop 3D printing space. So we have 80,000 machines installed worldwide, which is roughly 33% of the overall install base, which positions us as unequivocal leaders in this arena. But that's just the hardware side of Makerbot, and if you really understand Makerbot, you have to couple into that the ecosystem around Makerbot. And Makerbot is tremendously valuable and tremendously important in the ecosystem that it provides in empowering the individual. So there's a lot of things around in the software space, mainly to empower the individual through a network of tools that give that individual the power to be really his or her own creator. One of those most dominant elements of the community or the ecosystem is Thingiverse. And just to give you an idea of what's going on in the 3D printing space, and I think you feel it here today with this very exciting event, is just how much movement is happening in the 3D printing space. And we see it through our community, and I'll share that with you now in the following slide. We have today 700,000 downloadable files on Thingiverse. We have 1 million download per week rate. That is incredible. If you want to graph it over time, and the only reason that this graph is up from Q1 2013 is because before that we never actually tracked this information. But Thingiverse was around since 2008. But the volume of content that is taking shape through Thingiverse is unprecedented. And so as a veteran in this industry, that's one of the things that struck me the most about Makerbot is this community. There are people out there that are tremendously hungry and looking for content to print. That is relatively new. It definitely was not around when I started off at Stratasys or Object. And so what we like to say and what we believe wholeheartedly, and I'm hoping the audience here gets it from today's experiences, is the revolution is here and it's happening today. And I really believe that wholeheartedly. We're switching from a world of bits to a world of atoms. The world of bits, obviously alluding to the internet. There is a tremendous amount of information out there on the internet that you can capture and that you can enjoy. Some of that content, and I'm alluding to the Thingiverse, you can even take it to the next level and you can print it and create it as physical objects, physical models, physical entities. And so this transition from bits to atoms is something that we are witnessing at Makerbot, which is truly, truly exciting. So the idea is simple. You have the revolution on the internet where you are empowered in being flooded with information or sharing information. You can be your own news publisher, alluding to Twitter, and we've all seen how Twitter has played such an important role in today's events. You can be your own TV station if you want to go to YouTube, and you can also be your own marketplace, alluding to PayPal as an example. But what we are offering through our platforms is that you can be your own creator. That is a concept that we're taking, and it is extremely powerful. Thanks to our desktop 3D printing solutions, whether it's in the hardware or whether it's in the software and the ecosystem surrounding it, we can really let you be your own creator and take it to wherever you wish to take it. And this is an extremely powerful message that Makerbot is leading in this arena. What does that mean to be your own creator? It means that you can be a tinker, a maker, obviously. It means that you can be a designer, an engineer, an architect, but it also means you can be a teacher or you can be a student. And a student has a lot of possibilities thanks to our platform and thanks to our ecosystems like never before. I'll talk about that in a few slides. So, empowering the individual to be his or her own creator and really take it to wherever that person wishes to go, that's our mission statement. That is what makes Makerbot so powerful. And so all we are doing is providing the facilitation, providing the toolbox to allow our customers to be as innovative and as creative as possible. That's our mission statement. This is just alluding to one photo that I love. Because if you are familiar with professional platforms, this is a fixture for manufacturing purposes. Now, back in the day at Stratasys, we were claiming, or we are claiming, that to be in the world of jigs and fixtures, you have to have high-end systems in place. But this fixture was printed on a replicator. So you can do the same applications as you can on the high-end printers in some cases. And so the whole world the paradigm of 3D printing is shifting from the professional platform to the personal platform. This is another great model. Actually, I think this model was taken from Stratasys at some point because it's a very, very old model for the veterans in the industry. And this is a V6 engine, obviously, and we were always at Object back in the day alluding to this model and showing the quality of print that we can deliver back in the day at Object. And today, a Makerbot 3D printer desktop can do that exact print. So that's very, very exciting, and that's the disruptiveness there. So what does it mean to be your own creator? I'll share with you some examples from different areas. First off is GE First Build. This is an innovation hub within GE. I actually met them this morning. This is a really, really interesting project. I'd led by GE. And what is really interesting about this project is this hub is not only about thinking of how to design products faster. This hub is responsible for designing, manufacturing, and actually selling product through the door. Everything in one space. So what happens, typically happens over the space of 2 to 3 years, is happening in the space of a few months with this innovative hub. And so it is highly disruptive within GE in that products are literally going outside the door in a few months, from design to manufacturing to actually selling the stuff out the door in volume. Now they have, on every given year, they have 12 projects. That's their goal, to run 12 projects. And of those 12 projects, they expect one to be mass manufactured, and that's when they shift from their hub to the traditional manufacturing environments that you can imagine. But by designing, manufacturing, and selling, thank you very much. Sorry. By designing, manufacturing, and selling the product, they managed to actually shorten the entire cycle it would take in GE from roughly 3 years to as an estimated half that time. So I'll share with you a short video on GE First Build. It's a very interesting space and how GE is using Makerbots to increase innovation, to augment innovation and creativity.
First Build was created as a way to get products to the market faster. Well, what's really hot now? That's what First Build is supposed to see. It's a subsidiary of GE Appliances, but we're our own company. We have our own building, our own facility, our own rules and infrastructure, and we're out there trying to make products really fast.
First Build is an incubator for a different way of designing products. The idea is speed, rapid development, build it, test it, try it, make mistakes, put corrections in. We're always pushing to go even faster.
We go to 3D printers as soon as we can, because that's what the beauty of having 3D printing right there next to us is. We've got an engineer who's sitting there making something and then printing it on a 3D printer. Why? Because it takes 30 minutes, a couple hours to print something.
It's a constant evolution process in our designs, and what we see by having the engineers and designers sitting in the next room with their 3D printers right in front of them, we get to quickly iterate and make design changes very fast.
We're using like those lean startup methods of actually putting things out in front of a customer and quickly iterating.
Pretty much every single product that we're working on right now, including the Chill Hub and the Smart Water Pitcher, we're prototype on a Makerbot. It's a good example of a product that we constantly iterated. The fact that we have 3D printers sitting in our desks right next to our computer allows us to quickly make changes to our parts. So in a matter of a couple hours, I get to see multiple iterations of this part. And not only that, I can show them to my team. So it's a very fast way to iterate and design components.
The development time, cycle time has come way down because of all this new technology. 3D printing, rapid prototyping. You can try it out, see if it fits, see if it works. Just building things in ways that we would never have imagined before.
Getting an idea from the community, turning that idea into a project, quickly iterating. This is what we're in right now. We're in the middle of it right now.
We are very fond to this saying that says a prototype is worth 1,000 meetings. What we're basically doing is every time we print a component, we're having a meeting. So it's not even a meeting, it's just a discussion. And we get to make the changes basically instantly.
I don't know if you remember, sorry about that, there's the Good Morning Vietnam, Robin Williams, when he imitates the record playing slowly, if you remember the movie. That's a bit what happened here, so forgive me for the technical glitch, but you get the idea. What's really exciting, even as I watch this for the end of time, is a lot of those, for the veterans sitting in the room, they get it, a lot of those applications that are discussed by this team using a Makerbot 3D desktop printer were done in the past on professional platforms. So there's a migration, there's a movement from professional high-end printers to this desktop space of 3D printing, and I'm very, very excited to be able to contribute my experiences in that space moving forward. Another example, I want to sort of share with you some examples and around the theme of creativity and being your own creator. This is Martha Stewart. What's amazing here is that you have designers sitting at their desks, literally with the printer right beside them, as you saw in the video, same atmosphere. And empowering the individual to have an idea, to quickly go and print the part, and then have a discussion, have a focus group meeting, think it through, optimize it, go back to the printer, print it again, and actually place it in its end state environment and see how that plays out. So everything that has to do with form and assembly, what we call marketing applications, which are sort of around focus groups or user interface experiences, ergonomics, how does this fit in your hand? These applications, these solutions are very exciting for any designer at the initial stage of development. That's how Martha Stewart is using it. And this one really blew my mind because you wouldn't expect a customer using a Makerbot printer to get this deep into innovation and creativity, and this is really the crux of it. Feinstein Institute, that's a part of implant for windpipe replacement. That is printed on a PLA material. Obviously, in our space, the dominant material is PLA. And living cells are then injected into this PLA, and the PLA acts as scaffolding. And once inserted into the body, the PLA dissolves, and you're left with a tissue which acts as the replacing element needed for the windpipe in this example. So, tremendous innovation happening using 3D printing in ways actually we never thought. You know, this is an application using a Replicator 2X. The actual, if you watch it, there's actually a syringe, and the syringe is injecting the living cell into the print as the printer is placing the PLA. So someone took our machine, played around with it, placed the syringe, and came up with a very, very interesting application, which is in the medical field. Again, empowering the creator. And this is really what we're about. This is what we will maintain to be in the years to come. As long as I am CEO of this wonderful company, you create, you go crazy, you do whatever you want to do. You want to place a syringe on our printer, you want to think of new ways to be innovative and use the technology such as in GE. Our role at Maketbot is to facilitate you and empower you, the creator. And that is what we do. That is why we have hardware equipment, and that is why we have an ecosystem. And the ecosystem is really there to help you be more creative and more innovative. Again, I remind you, Thingiverse with 700,000 files online. Download those files, iterate those files, print those files, come up with better ideas, and then ultimately augment your creativity and your innovation as a result of that. And so we're very proud today to be launching the ShapeMaker as an example of that. Very cool. Yeah? That's an example of the ecosystem that we provide at Makerbot. That is another tool in our toolbox. That was obviously mainly intended for the education market, mainly intended for that K-12 child, and the ability to have this new tool, ShapeMaker, allows for that child to be more creative and more innovative in a very, very intuitive manner. And so you see that's just one product that we launched today at this show that has nothing to do with hardware printing. And it's important that you understand that Makerbot is not just a hardware company. Far from it. Makerbot is an entire experience. And we at Makerbot provide all the tools in that toolbox needed to enhance your creativity and your innovation. And so what it becomes the challenge if you take that approach is that you need to think 2 steps ahead. Because if we're going to be that facilitator to our customer, we have to figure out where that customer is heading and provide those tools so that when they do reach that moment in time, we are there to serve them to the best of our abilities. So that is why Makerbot, as a culture, as a company, has in its DNA a culture of being very forthcoming and very adventurous and trying new things that were never done before. And as a CEO of this wonderful company, I will absolutely maintain that culture within this company. And this is another example of our composite materials we have launched in the CES in 2015. These are composite materials of iron, maple, bronze. These are materials that are going to come out later this year. Again, empowering the individual to be more creative and innovative thanks to these materials. Another example of things that were never done before, and it's part of our spirit as a Makerbot and within the culture of this company, is the smart extruder. The ability to replace an extruder upon fail, or if you want to change from one material to another. This is revolutionary in its approach and never been done before on the desktop 3D printing space. And if it's in our ecosystem in the mobile applications where you can actually track your printer and actually launch your printer from home or from work or on your way to work or on your way to home, and you can literally launch your printer on your mobile. And not only that, you can actually see the print because there's a cam inside the printer, and so you can track and see how your print is coming along before you actually get home or to work. So all this accessibility, all this ecosystem, and being the avant-garde, being the first to market with these sort of solutions is part of how we see ourselves in Makerbot. And sometimes, and it's great, and I'm not ashamed of it, and I'm very proud to talk about it. Sometimes we don't always get it 100% right. Sometimes we're thinking 2 steps ahead as opposed to 1 step ahead. This is an example of the digital store. Now, the concept of the digital store, if I tell in this room, I explain to everyone in this room, everyone will say, yeah, it makes sense. You can work with vendors and get there and create a platform to allow people to download or print content of that vendor at a price without infringing the rights of the content itself at a cost. And so we worked with several vendors across the nation and tried to collaborate with them. Now, digital store has traction to it, but not as much traction as we had thought. But if you know the iTunes world and you're familiar with that space, this model makes a lot of sense. The only thing is we were ahead of our time. If you asked the people at Makerbot, but should we have tried it? Yeah, definitely we should have tried it. And would we have tried it again? Yes, because that's the culture of Makerbot. And the culture of Makerbot is one where we will always try things that were never done before. And this is a great example to allude to one case where we took 2 steps too far. This will be important for Makerbot in the future to come. It just happens to not be the right moment. But we tried, and I think that's very commendable and something great about the spirit of Makerbot. Which brings me to my closing slides, and it's a presentation that's shorter than what it was slotted for. Embrace this revolution and be fearless in trying new things. That is a statement that is true for both our customer and ourselves. We are, as a company, fearless. We are not scared to try new things. And we have shown that in the previous slides. And we will keep trying new things. And most of it we will get right, and some of it maybe we won't, but we will keep trying. Because we are fearless as a company. We are creative and we are innovative, and as long as that spirit remains in this company, then we will be leaders in this field. 100% sure of that. And you yourselves, as a customer or potential customer, be fearless as well. Embrace this technology, experiment on this technology, and you will see where this technology can take you, and it's very, very exciting space. And if that's not enough, then I have to warn you that the future workforce of this nation is already embracing this technology. If I hadn't convinced you enough, then here's a reality that you'll have to accept. There are 5,000 printers, Makerbot printers, across schools in this country alone. 5,000 schools have already embraced 3D printing. I'll take a multiple of that to how many kids have been exposed to these printers, and what I just shared with you is just the Makerbot part of the equation in this education space. So the future workforce is heading its way with this technology at hand. And that is not something that is, you know, that is happening today. And so really, the way I can best pitch it in a sort of a slightly, you know, forthcoming tone is you can either be active or reactive here. You can either be active and you can say, well, I'll wait for those kids to graduate and then I'll have them teach me how to use this technology, and then you will experience a learning curve like in any institution. When you bring new technology on board, you will have to experience and learn how to use this technology. Or you can be reactive, and reactive means start now and wait for those, and start now, experiment on this technology now, and when those kids are graduating from schools and they come on board in your facilities, you already know what 3D printing is about. You see the value of 3D printing, and you will be able to have better and more creative ideas as a result of it, without question. So my last slide is don't go the way of the dinosaur, evolve. Again, a bit forthcoming, but it's all in good spirit. Please feel free to stop by at our booth, visit, ask questions. We are very, very happy to be here. We're very proud to be where we are today. We've come a long ways to be where we are today, and we will be more than happy to help you enter this world of 3D printing, and we will be more than happy to guide you in this exciting space of 3D printing. Thank you very much.
We have a little bit of time to take some questions, so